The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that'll wow. Laugh and learn, stay a while. Let's explore that Hilton style. From the highs to the lows, every story just explodes. Mike's got questions on the go, diving deep from head to toe. Every week the guests align, sharing moments so divine. Stay with us, the pace is fine. Every episode you'll find. The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that'll wow. Laugh and learn, stay a while. Let's explore that Hilton style.
I had four dismounted IDs personally. The first one, this Iraqi soldier. Well, he was a Stotwell. They call it Sons of Iraq as civilian, but they're helping us as civilian. But they're helping us. We came down to a bed down location. There was a 60 millimeter mortar shell of the size of just a little bigger than a coffee cup. And I was like, nobody touch anything. Like, don't touch. It was just like me, one of my other guys, Scotty Freeman. I had my other team over here. I was leading a small team at the time. And this guy, he picked it up, and it had an anti-tampering device on it. And, man, I didn't – luckily, thank God, because I was like from here about 10 feet away, talked to Scott, and I had my glasses off because I was so hot. And I just put my helmet back on. Thank God. Crack. I mean, that thing exploded. Like 5 dudes, like just cutting to pieces. Right before you, and you're just like, I'm like, holy shit! And I get knocked out, and I'm laying like this. I look at Scotty, and I wake up. I don't mean to laugh. Sorry. I'm like, I'm holding my. I go, and there's blood on us and on the guys, and I look at Scotty, I go, oh my God! I go, you're hit. He goes, no, sir, you're hit. I go, no, I'm not hit. And these dudes are just like in pieces, you know. So that happened, and then a few hours, no. The next day, we were walking the same villages after we had cleared them. And I had an American captain. I cannot remember his last name. He was new. He wasn't in my unit, but he was with he had another small team. I was showing him where stuff was at because they were going to take over. It's like the movies. It blew him in the air. He lived, but I picked him up. Matt and Adelina picked him up, sorry. I ran through the IEDs, got a vehicle, and we had a Casevac come out and route. It was terrible. And we got hit 3 days in a row. And then the next day we got hit again. Similar things, small arms fire. God, I'm like, please get me through this because I don't want to get killed. But I'd rather be killed than my men get killed. I mean, 100%, right? I mean, that's the deal. As a leader, you got to lay it on the line for him. But man, it was. So when you have those kind of fears in you, it's hard. Like you still have to go. You still got to do the mission, but man, you just got to kind of reconcile that. It's tough. Like I don't feel that way anymore, but it's still, there's times like when I have flashbacks or if there's a loud noise or something, and I can feel it on my neck. Everybody gets it, but like. For me, it like freezes, and you're like, try to breathe through it. But, yeah. But you got to fight through fear, man. Couldn't find my niche, in life. And my marriage was falling apart. And we're close now we're much closer now today, but I was gone for about 10 years of it, with training and deployments, And so, I wasn't there for my kids, and I was drinking, and this is for any veteran listening or any person who's struggling. Alcohol was a big factor. I don't drink like I used to. I have maybe a couple beers once in a while. And when I was home last time, I didn't have any alcohol, even at the reunion. You got to watch that. But, I just, I almost took my life. I was ready to kill myself in the VFW parking lot. I had a gun, and I knew what I was going to do. My buddy Thomas Peters called me from the Army. He was a civilian now, and he said, hey, you doing okay? I go, no, I'm not doing okay. And, he talked me off the ledge, and I owe Tommy that, and I started on my journey, and got divorced, and but then I go to the vet center and I started going counseling. I go once every 2 weeks now. I used to go once a week. Started working out again, and you know, just been there for my kids, and then I found a couple jobs. First,
In terms of
please.
leadership, what are some of those characteristics that those people that you were taught by, coached by, that instilled leadership qualities in you?
Yeah, absolutely. And a couple of years ago, I had a chance to come back and talk to the team just for like an hour at the most when I was traveling for some work stuff. And I told those players, what I learned from the coaches, especially from Coach Prince and Coach Lapani, was, with Will Prince, he taught me to truly be a disciplined player and control my emotions to an extent, as much as a teenager can. And then with Coach Lapani, with Rich, what I learned from him, and I still carry to this day when I'm coaching or I'm in my profession, is how to systematically approach, you know, whether it's the game of football or my life, through physical fitness. How do I approach my career? How do I approach my children? Seeing Rich, he's the master of that, really is. I don't want to call him compartmentalization, but he really knows how to focus on the most important in hand and how do you get it done. And that was really impactful in my life. And I use that in combat operations. And I would talk about that with my soldiers before missions in Iraq or Afghanistan. I'd be like, Rich Lapani's watching. They go, who's Rich? They'd be like, who's Rich Lapani? I'm like, never mind, you don't know. I actually called Rich once or twice from Iraq. I called Will every time I was, yeah, I called him more than my family. Try not to be as emotional. I mean, usually it's after something bad happened, whether I lost a soldier, or lost a friend, or major action happened, or we got mortared, or we did a raid at night or the day. I mean, and I would just talk to them just to check up on how they're doing. I'd call them, and I'd be on this sweaty ass payphone, and not even a payphone. It's like these, we call them. It's this is not culture appropriate. It's called the Haji phone. And this wooden shack, and it's 130 degrees, and they're trying to call, and it's, oh my God. It was just great to hear his voice, and it's kind of, I didn't get too emotional. I had a lot of things to do downrange. My tours were, I expanded years, like, 15 months, 14 months, 13 months, 15 months. Those are long tours. Yeah, so it was great to hear that voice and just talk to them. You know how Rich gets. He's like,
The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that'll wow. Laugh and learn, stay a while. Let's explore that Hilton style. From the highs to the lows, every story just explodes. Mike's got questions on the go, diving deep from head to toe. Every week the guests align, sharing moments so divine. Stay with us, the pace is fine. Every episode you'll find. The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that